How can I help you?
We're here to make a withdrawal.
All right, everyone. Do exactly as we say, and you'll all live to open up your presents.
Hands behind your heads! Alarm stripped!
3 minutes.
Open the vault.
I won't be able to open it in time.
Sorry, buddy. You saw my face.
Nathan's life seems ordinary. He works as an assistant manager at a bank, keeps to himself, and doesn't expect much from the daily grind. But right away, we notice something unusual. His home is covered with little safety hacks, sharp corners are padded, and anything dangerous is tucked away, almost like the house is built for someone who could get hurt without even knowing it. Nathan moves through this carefully arranged world without a second thought. At the office, his boss, Nigel, gathers the whole staff to deliver one of those over-the-top speeches about teamwork, loyalty, and treating each other like family. Not long after, Sherry, a young woman who's been working there for about 4 months, walks in. Nathan immediately lights up when he sees her, though he's way too shy to make a move. Later that morning, Nathan sits down with Earl, a regular client who looks strikingly like Morgan Freeman. Earl, still grieving the loss of his wife Betty, shares that he's now at risk of losing both his house and his shop. Hearing the pain in Earl's voice, Nathan quietly promises to delay some paperwork to give the man a little more time after the holidays. As Nathan heads to make himself a coffee, Sherry accidentally bumps into him from behind. Startled, Nathan spills the steaming drink all over his hand. But shockingly, he doesn't react at all. Sherry is horrified, apologizing profusely. Feeling guilty, she invites him to lunch to make up for it. Nathan, still rattled, politely declines at first, retreating to treat his injured hand. But later, Earl's words echo in his mind about how Betty was the best thing that ever happened to him. Maybe life's too short to be afraid. In a rare burst of courage, Nathan hurries back to Sherry and accepts her offer. During lunch, Sherry orders a slice of the town's famous cherry pie and insists Nathan try some. He hesitates, giving all sorts of excuses. Eventually, he opens up to her, explaining he has congenital insensitivity to pain, a rare condition where he can't feel pain at all. He adds that even if he chewed through his tongue, he wouldn't realize it, which is why he grew up so sheltered. Sherry, who had already noticed how he didn't flinch when burning his hand, gently pushes him to give the pie a shot. Nathan finally takes a bite, and just like that, he experiences something simple and sweet for the very first time. Later on, Sherry invites Nathan to an art show she's hosting that evening. Without a second thought, he agrees, genuinely excited. That night, Nathan relaxes by jumping into an online game with his only real friend, Roscoe Dixon, a guy he's gamed with for years but has never actually met in person. As Nathan hesitates about whether he should go to the art show, Roscoe calls him out immediately. He tells Nathan that if he had half a chance with a girl like Sherry, he'd already be there with flowers and a tux. Motivated by Roscoe's pep talk, Nathan suits up and heads out. At the art show, Nathan has a great time, even more so when he hangs out with Sherry afterward. But the night takes a weird turn when they run into an old ghost from Nathan's past, a former school bully who used to call him Novocaine, mocking his condition while beating him up for fun. Not one to let that slide, Sherry hatches a plan. She challenges the guy to take shots with Nathan, only she secretly swaps the liquor with ghost pepper hot sauce. The bully barely downs it before coughing like he's about to explode. Nathan and Sherry share a good laugh. If you love a good laugh and unpredictable moments like these, make sure you're subscribed. Don't miss out on more wild recaps that'll keep you hooked from start to finish. Later, they head back to Nathan's place. As Sherry helps him pull off his shirt, she notices something unexpected. His torso is covered in tattoos, each one painfully etched by his own hand. The moment grows intense, and before long, they're caught up in a deep kiss, leading to a night of real connection. The next morning, Christmas Eve, Nathan wakes up feeling like a brand new man. After making a clumsy but heartfelt breakfast, he heads to work, eager to finally tell Sherry how he feels. But fate has other plans. Before Nathan can even say good morning, 3 men in Santa suits, Simon, Andre, and Ben, storm into the bank, firing bullets into the ceiling and knocking employees to the ground. Simon demands the vault code from Nigel. When Nigel refuses, Simon doesn't hesitate. He shoots him in the head right in front of everyone. To make sure nobody else plays hero, Simon grabs Nathan and even strikes Sherry, forcing Nathan to surrender the vault code. The gang quickly starts stuffing bags with cash, but before they leave, They grab Sherry as a hostage, just as police sirens wail outside. Ignoring the police's demands to surrender, the robbers open fire, killing the officers before speeding away with Sherry in tow. Nathan watches helplessly at first, but then his instincts kick in. He uses his belt to create a tourniquet for a wounded cop, grabs the fallen officer's gun, and hijacks the squad car, fueled by a single thought: saving Sherry. Nathan races after them as Simon orders Andre to head for the highway, leaving Ben behind to handle Nathan once and for all. The chase forces Nathan and the robbers into a tight alley where Nathan wrecks the stolen cop car and corners Simon. Desperate, he demands to know where they're taking Sherry, but Simon just smirks, tosses his gun aside like he's daring Nathan to follow, and bolts into a nearby restaurant kitchen. Without thinking twice, Nathan charges after him. Inside, the fight turns nasty fast. They slam into counters, knock over pans, and in the chaos, Ben's gun falls straight into a pot of boiling oil. Without blinking, Nathan plunges his hand into the bubbling oil and pulls the weapon out, burning his flesh horribly, but as always, he doesn't feel a thing. The brutal brawl ends when Nathan manages to shoot Ben in the head. Wasting no time, he digs through Ben's pockets and finds a phone with a suspicious text message. Nathan quickly snaps a photo of the strange tattoo inked across Ben's body before jumping back into a new stolen ride. He immediately sends the tattoo picture to Roscoe, asking him to dig into local tattoo parlors that might recognize the work. Nathan also starts tracking where Ben might have worked, hoping it'll lead him straight to Simon, Andre, and most importantly, Sherry. Meanwhile, back at the bank, detectives Mincy and Coltrane show up to investigate the bloodbath. As they comb through the scene, they stumble upon a critical clue: Nathan's belt. The same one he used to save the wounded officer.
The assistant manager. He stole a cruiser and followed the gunman. Witnesses say it's the same guy who opened the vault.
Instantly, Nathan jumps from Good Samaritan to prime suspect in their eyes. Oblivious to this growing manhunt, Nathan heads to Earl's shop for help. Earl is stunned when he sees the bullet lodged in Nathan's arm, and even more disturbed when Nathan calmly asks him to dig it out without so much as a wince. For the first time, Earl truly understands how unusual Nathan's condition is, and how dangerous this night might get. After patching him up, Nathan thanks Earl by slipping him a thick bundle of stolen cash, easily enough to save Earl's house and shop. Overwhelmed, Earl nearly breaks down, telling Nathan that Betty always said he was one of the good ones. Meanwhile, detectives Mincy and Coltrane catch up to the scene at the kitchen where Nathan had left Ben's body cooling.
Nathan Kane, single, male, 30. No record, no affiliations, 0 traffic tickets, an online gamer tag of Magic Nate Ball. Oh, that's good. Worked at San Diego Trust for 6 years.
That just doesn't sound like a stone cold killer to me.
And yet,
Do you have a cell phone number for him?
I just robbed a bank, killed a guy. You really think he's just picking up his cell phone?
This is Nate speaking.
Mincy dials Nathan's number, bluntly accusing him of being part of the robbery crew and demanding he return the stolen money. Nathan, caught off guard, quickly fires back, explaining he's no criminal. He's hunting the real robbers to save Sherry. He points out that if he waited for the cops, it would already be too late. Mincy, while still suspicious, can hear the desperation in Nathan's voice. For the first time, she starts to wonder if maybe he's telling the truth. Elsewhere, Simon and Andre are holed up at a shady auto shop. Andre paces nervously, worried sick about why Ben hasn't checked in. As tensions rise, a brutal twist comes out. Sherry isn't just a hostage, she's Simon's sister and had been planted at the bank months earlier to earn everyone's trust. Even though she agreed to help with the setup, Sherry never signed up for murder. Watching Simon kill Nigel in cold blood rattled her to the core, and it's clear she's horrified by how far things have spiraled. Her connection to Nathan, once just part of the plan to learn the vault code, had turned into something real, and now she's trapped between loyalty and regret. Later, Nathan tracks down the grimy tattoo shop where Ben got his ink work done. He corners the artist, Zeno, demanding answers.
Well, I have a buddy of mine, and he got this awesome tattoo. I want the exact same one. I think he said that he got it here.
You know Ben?
Ben! Funny story about Ben. You know his last name, right?
Yeah.
How would you think it's pronounced?
but Zeno gets cagey fast, refusing to talk. When Nathan pulls a gun, things explode. Zeno's assistant tries to jump Nathan, but ends up eating a knockout punch from Zeno himself by accident. Nathan is slammed into a mirror, but instead of backing off, he goes savage, smashing his fists into the broken glass and tearing shards into his skin without flinching. Armed with bloody glass, Nathan slashes Zeno's face twice, blinding him in one eye. Still stubborn, Zeno refuses to give up Ben's full name. As a final insult, Nathan grabs a tattoo gun and blacks out the swastika ink burned into Zeno's skin, leaving him blind, humiliated, and defeated. Moments later, Roscoe calls Nathan back, giving him Ben's home address. Without wasting a second, Nathan grabs a tattoo needle and inks the address right onto his own hand, a bloody roadmap to revenge, then heads out to find Simon and Andre. Meanwhile, Andre picks up chatter on a police scanner confirming that Ben is dead, killed by a skinny guy in a suit. Simon immediately knows it's Nathan. Sherry does too, and dread sets in. Nathan soon arrives at Ben's place, but walking through the front door would have been too easy. The house is rigged like a death trap. An arrow launches into Nathan's leg, pinning him, and before he can even curse, a snare yanks him into the air, leaving him dangling upside down like a caught deer. Desperate, Nathan calls Roscoe for backup, but Roscoe hesitates, scared that helping a suspected murderer and bank robber could land him in prison too. Nathan pleads with him, reminding him that none of that matters. The only thing that matters is saving Sherry, and that Roscoe is the only real friend he has ever had. Moved, Roscoe promises he'll get there in 10 minutes on his Harley, but the clock ticks too fast. Andre gets there first. Andre wastes no time, aiming to torture Nathan for Ben's death. Nathan, knowing he can't feel pain, fakes screams and struggles, pretending like every poke and prod hurts. Just when Andre's about to gouge Nathan's eye out, Roscoe bursts in like a wrecking ball, knocking Andre off balance.
Huh. What do you mean, huh?
Didn't you say that you were 6'5" and that you looked like Jason Momoa?
I said I kinda look like Jason Momoa.
Right.
A brutal, dirty fight explodes. In the chaos, Roscoe throws a knife at Nathan, which hilariously stabs straight through Nathan's own hand. He turns the blade on Andre. The fight rages on until Nathan traps Andre's head between his legs, gritting his teeth and straight into Andre's skull, killing him instantly. As police sirens wail in the distance, Roscoe quickly creates a distraction, giving Nathan just enough time to escape. The cops swarm in and arrest Roscoe, but before they haul him off, he slyly tips off Mincy and Coltrane about Nathan's next move. Meanwhile, Nathan tracks Simon down to an auto body shop. He corners him at gunpoint, ready to end this nightmare. But Simon plays his trump card. He reveals that Sherry is actually his sister and was in on the robbery from the very beginning. The bombshell rocks Nathan to the core, and in that moment of shock, Simon seizes the chance to fight back, grabbing a weapon and aiming to finish Nathan off. Just before he can pull the trigger, detectives Mincy and Coltrane crash the party, blasting Simon in the side and dropping him. Nathan, battered and barely clinging to consciousness, is loaded into an ambulance. The officers handcuff Sherry and move to arrest Simon. But Simon's not done yet. In a sudden frenzy, he guns down Coltrane with a shot to the neck and hits Mincy in the side. Chaos erupts. Simon grabs the stolen cash, murders several paramedics without blinking, and hijacks the ambulance, with Nathan still strapped inside. Back at the scene, Sherry, guilt-ridden and desperate, helps Mincy stand. Along with Roscoe, they jump into a squad car and race after Simon, realizing he's gunning for the pier to escape by boat with the money. Inside the speeding ambulance, Nathan regains consciousness. Wasting no time, he snaps his own thumb out of place to wriggle free from the cuffs. His eyes land on a defibrillator. Perfect. He cranks it up and shocks Simon straight in the head, sending the ambulance crashing spectacularly. When Sherry and the others catch up, Simon somehow survives the wreck and immediately starts beating Nathan senseless, even fracturing Nathan's arm so badly the bone sticks right out. It's brutal. As Simon turns to kill Sherry next, Nathan, fueled by sheer willpower, injects himself with adrenaline. The shot kicks his broken body into overdrive. In a savage final move, Nathan grabs his own protruding bone and drives it through Simon's jaw and deep into his head, ending him once and for all. Nathan collapses afterward, just as medics and cops storm the scene to help. Weeks later, Nathan finally wakes up in a hospital bed, groggy but alive. Roscoe is right there, keeping watch like a loyal guard dog. Not long after, Mincy shows up with some hard truths. She tells Nathan that technically he's facing enough charges to rot in prison for years, but because he saved her life, and well, because he's a clean-cut white guy who used to work at a bank, the system cuts him a deal, 6 months of house arrest and 5 years of probation. Not exactly a slap on the wrist, but way better than the alternative. Fast forward a year later, Nathan and Roscoe are still glued to their video games, talking trash like nothing ever changed. But tonight, Nathan logs off early. He's got somewhere more important to be. At a nearby prison, Nathan meets up with Sherry, who's still got 8 months left on her sentence. They sit together in the visiting room sharing a slice of cherry pie, just like they did on their very first date. As their time together winds down, Nathan takes one last bite, savoring every second. A small, real smile creeps onto his face, maybe for the first time in a long while. Well, that's the end of this recap. If you enjoyed this movie, consider subscribing for more interesting stories. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.